Hello, another quick video just to show you how to align the D-ring clip at the bottom there so it's in line with the clamp over here and the grip here. Now some of you guys who've already built one might know that, or might have even gone the route of using something like a bit of Loctite blue just on the threads on the pommel here, pommel cap, so it lines up where you want it to. But for me, that's not really an option, because what that means is I'm going to have to loosen the bottom cap probably a good half a turn so it lines up with a grip down here somewhere, and then I'm going to further have to loosen the this grip section here so this grip then appears up here to be in line with the clamp, and that's just too much loosening for my liking. And also it will leave a bit of a gap just here between the KR Sabers cap cover and the bottom end of the hilt here. So what I've decided to do, and this is, I've only realised I can do this since I made the previous video about the Obi-Wan Kenobi hilt. Thanks to some guys on Facebook who made me realise that you can actually sand the threads off certain parts of the hilt. It might not be advisable on some of them, but I thought I'd give it a go on the pommel for this, and it does actually work. It takes quite a bit of sanding though. So I've got 120 grit sandpaper here, a minute of sanding, just loosely with my hand. So I'd take the pommel cap off, or the pommel off itself, and I'd then just hold it and just sort of draw on the sandpaper here. And a minute of sanding probably translates to only a few millimeters, maybe about, it was about here where my thumb is. The right end of this was about here before I began. So I guess maybe 1 or 2 more minutes and then it will be in line with this here. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll get back to you. So here we have it. I've just sanded the cap down a little bit, and I've cleaned it off with some PCB cleaner because I didn't have anything else handy. So I'm going to put that on and see how that looks. Now you'll notice here I've got 2 rivet holes. That's for loudness, and I've got 1 hole there that came standard on the pommel itself, but then I drilled an extra hole because I just thought it wasn't loud enough without or with this KR Sabers pommel cap. But yeah, that's something else completely unrelated. Anyway, so there's a minute's worth of sanding, and that's what it gets you. So it's still not there yet. I probably still need a couple more minutes actually. But if you look at the previous, if you rewind about a minute, you'll see that there is a slight difference there. So I'm going to try this a couple more times and I'll come back with the finished product. Okay, so I'm all done. It's taken off quite a bit of thread actually, I think. Well, the thing is there's plenty on there to hold it on anyway. But it did take a lot longer than I thought it would. It took probably about 15 minutes of trial and error, because I had to go down to 100 grit sandpaper. I've got, what is it, 120 and 180 or something there, so I just sanded it progressively. Started on 100 and cleaned it off and tried it and such, and I thought it'd make a cleaner thread if it was sanded down to a more finer grade. Now ordinarily I'd probably go even finer, but I just had that lying around, so I thought I might as well give it a go. And I've test fitted it and it seems to work. The only thing I've done extra, you'll notice all these little brown marks, they are lithium grease, so it should spin on a little better. Now I'm going to put that on. So here it is going on. Again, one-handed, so a bit tricky. But it's fairly smooth with the grease on, but here it is getting tight. I'm going to need 2 hands for this part, just bear with me a second. And there we go, job's a good one. So that did take quite a bit of elbow grease, more than I thought it would, but all in all, that's a very snug fit. Before I fully tightened it, it was a few millimeters off, so I did have to put a little bit of force on, but that's I'm happy with that, because at least then I know it's not going to fall off or start to get loose all of a sudden. But yeah, that's a very solid pommel cap, solid grip, so it doesn't move Even with this off, actually, it should be relatively difficult to get it to move because I have tightened it quite a bit. So it does need two hands even to take the clamp end off from this grip. It's not a massive amount of force, I must say. It's just a very slight tug to the left of the grip and it comes off. But there we go. It's possible. As I said again, just if you guys don't want to go this route, it's fine. I just chose to because when I fully tightened this D-ring clip, it came to about here, and it was way too far to from the point that I wanted it to, clockwise anyway, to get it to back off a bit and then stick some Loctite glue on, or glue it, or however some people have done it. I know Matt in his Let's Build a Graflex videos mentioned that you can just loosen it off a little bit, back it off, and then just stick some Loctite on, but it does leave a big gap here on mine because there's only, what, if you look at that as a clock face, there's only about sort of 2 hours between the points that I needed it to go. So sanding it down makes the pommel cap spin more clockwise. If you were to think about it that way, it might be easier. Yeah, but there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it helped.